Oh my goodness. Hold on. I got to switch out
It's
my
too late.
Post-it.
It's too late. We're live. We're
My
live.
post-its, my Friday post-its. I got to remind myself today's Friday.
All right. Good morning, everyone. It is October 14th, 2022.
14th already. Man,
yeah, right?
my brain is still in September. I say, look, my brain is still in 2 years ago. So
I think we're all kind of there.
Oh, it's like, oh, for goodness sake.
You ready for this?
No. Go ahead.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or Ragin 2 Promotion.
Oh, hello there. You just caught me in the middle of making a drink. While I'm doing that, here's a disembodied voice that'll talk to you about what this commercial is about.
Thanks, sellout me. Shots with Comics is a podcast with artists and writers Chad Perkins, Kit Bonitis Jaspering, and Blake Matthias. They'll give you a brutally honest review of the comics they are reading. Do they love it? Do they hate it? They'll tell you while drinking their traumas away. If this sounds terrible, then join us Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Indie Comics Podcast Network for this aggressive comedy review show and sellout commercial.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. I want to vomit every time he makes that drink. You know, when he gets his bottle of whatever that ketchup mustard thing looking thing.
Whatever the fuck that was.
Think of that. I'm just like going, bro.
Grody. I really hope he cut that and drank something different.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past him.
No, I wouldn't either.
You can't trust a guy dressed as a pickle. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Friday here on the Indie Comics Network, where you're watching the Ragin 2, the vlogs show. And again, I have to keep reminding myself that it's Friday because, you know, it's been another week. Good grief. So, who's joining us in the chat today?
No, I don't even know. I can't even see these guys yet. Rob Multori and Jody McPhee are here so far this morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Welcome. Good morning. And yes, and I see you for people watching us from regions beyond. So, so I know you have your reasons for being there. You're probably watching us on Twitter, probably watching us on Facebook, but come on over to YouTube. Join the sexy people in the chat. You know, it's a lot more fun over here. But you know, let's get this started. Hello, my name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and I am known for the furry animal fantasy adventure Tall Tales. Yes, so if you like furry fantasy, furry everything, this book has it all. If you like that whole Lord of the Rings running, jumping, skipping, climbing Mount Doom type of thing, Tall Tales is your thing. But if you prefer my medieval fantasy soap opera dramas, then Eagle Raven is your thing. So Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, currently on pre-launch for issue 5, launching November 7th. It's like all the links are in the show notes below. So so let's so even though I'm supposed to be getting all my books by Monday for the volume 1 campaign, let's show a pre-launch page a little love in the meantime. So like I said, all the links in the show notes below. And in the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILSonline.com, and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about that, here is, ta-da!
It's
Nita.
a network. There's shows. There's people and stuff. We've got things. Like, and my name is Nita Lanning, and I am the producer of the Indie Comics Network here on YouTube and God of Indie Comics Promotions page on Facebook.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very
Sometimes
nice.
I write stuff, sometimes I edit stuff. I just do things.
Yeah, overall.
It's all about things, just
It's all
things.
about all the things.
I dabble.
And current hamster collector.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, right.
HR has grown.
Yes, please send
keeping an eye on us.
Support this hamster rescue.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Oh my goodness. So just to give everybody a heads up, they're working on Nita's internet in her neighborhood. So if she's looking a little, staticky or something. Bad? No, it's not. Right now it's good. Okay. It just, if it lags or something, that's what's going on.
Or if I just drop. Yeah.
Right. Just in case, but no, I'm sure, but it's, it's just hopefully they won't take too long to get it fixed. So, so how was your week, Nita?
It was adventurous.
Right.
There's been all kinds of drama with artists moping, and you know how you guys are.
Well, yeah, that's just
you're either on top of the world or you think you're complete shit, and
or both. that was my week.
Same time.
That was my week because hey, being a creative person is an emotional roller coaster, which I'm sure everybody knows.
Knocked out a couple edits, working on some new stuff, because we're continuing to rebrand under Indie Comics Network.
Yeah.
Speaking of, that's what I want to do. I want to make a transition video. Like I want to do, instead of having the intro and the disclaimer separate, I want to merge those two together, but I want to redo it because I'm not happy with the audio on the first part.
Yeah, just, I mean, it's like,
little stuff to
you know what it is?
It's up the place.
Yeah, it's that preparation before like the end of the year to kind of start the new year fresh. Right. When we started this network and this video and these vlogs or whatnot, it wasn't under the oh, there you go. Thank you. Then I can go back to work. It's like we didn't exactly start everything under the best of circumstances.
No.
So we would just had to hit the ground running and figure everything out as we went along.
Right.
And now that we kind of have a good chunk of the year under our belt, it's like, we're beginning to work out certain things to kind of make a more cohesive channel, I guess.
Right.
It's like something that kind of brings our branding together. Talking all the business. Talking the business. But I mean, it's like, and I know sometimes it looks like, we're just, two people, screwing around on the internet or whatnot, just making stupid videos or whatnot. But the thing is though, you surprised me with some numbers yesterday. And it's like it was kind of sobering, it's like for screwing around on the internet, it's an expensive hobby.
It cost me a chunk of change to maintain and keep this network going, and that I mean, including outsourcing for graphics, paying for music rights.
It adds
the advanced tier. As shitty as my internet is now, imagine if I was on the low level tier. Fucking the pro plan for the StreamYard. I mean, there's all kinds of little expenses. Advertisement. I pay for advertising. There's all kinds of little expenses that factor in. So it does. It adds up.
And it adds up fast. Like I was really surprised, and it's like, oh snap. But it's like, and then it's like that's not even counting the costs of when you incorporated, just the fact that you decided to incorporate this.
Right.
And it's like, well, so everything that's kind of coming together, I think is kind of par for the course for I guess treating it like a business. I mean, you're spending money on it like it's a business, so you might as well in the end treat it like a business. And
absolutely.
And and it's just kind of weird thinking about that. I mean, it's like, it's kind of like, I draw comics all day, it's like, but in the end, it is a
It's
business.
still work, right?
It's still
right.
work. It's artwork, right? So, and yeah, and it's just like realize like, holy crap, like, especially, now that this is the time of year where we're all getting, like all our tax information together and whatnot, getting it, putting it all together and then realizing that it's like, oh snap. It's like, that's a lot, like you don't realize like how much money you spend on what you think is a hobby.
Until you add it up. And I've never really viewed it as a hobby as much as an extension of a promotional service to offer, to be able to build. And this is a platform that I'm building with the intention for the future to be able to use my daughter and to pass that on, to build something that is ideal for the comic book industry to continue. And like at the end of the day, we're really looking at, before ads and everything, just basic bills, I'm looking at $2,800 a year. And that's before the real expensive stuff. That's before ads. That's before,
and that's like basic. That's not even
the bare minimum.
Everything. I mean, it's like you're spending an average of $200, $300 a month, depending on what bill comes due. And it's like, and everything being a subscription service is just ridiculous. It's like, I really got to look over my stuff. It's like, what, do I really need this? Do I really need that? Because it all adds up, and I guess the insidious thing about the whole thing is how they price it in a way where it doesn't seem like a lot.
Until you do the math, and then it's like, oh, wait a minute.
Here, it's $10 here, it's $15 here. It's like, oh, then it's like, well, then what's another $40? What's another $50? And then it's like, holy crap, what am I spending a month? What am I exactly spending?
Yeah, when I did the total for the year before, and I mean, I really the only things included in that are Adobe, which is a necessity for graphics, the permissions program on the music, like I said, the pro plan on the StreamYard, and half of my Wi-Fi bill, just half of it is fucking almost $3,000 a year.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it's like, I think like people really, especially, exactly. See, and that's the thing, like, even as a hobbyist, when you think you're a hobbyist, right? Until you do the math, and it's like, no.
When I saw those numbers, it's like, it's time to take some shit seriously.
No, for real. So we're doing some changes. We're collaborating on some changes. That it's nothing drastic, but it's like it's kind of like the little things that help bring the big things together. Because that's also the funny thing too, how it's like, sometimes people can be so focused on like kind of like the big picture that is so far down the road that they don't realize that it's actually the smaller detail. The devil really is in the details.
It really, really is.
It's the smaller things that are going to trip you up. It's like, so that's something that, and like in this case that I'm going through right now. So this week I was supposed to get delivery of all my books for the for the Eagle Raven Volume 1 campaign. And what happened was that I was supposed to get books delivered yesterday, and they didn't, because usually when it rains really hard, UPS decides, nah, screw that. It's like, we're going to reschedule everything for the next day. And that's what happened. So I'm supposed to be getting books today. However, my Volume 1 books were delayed. They were supposed to deliver this week, and they were delayed, which made me worried, because the last time when we were doing the Volume 4 Tall Tales trade, they delayed the book 3 times. So it took about a month and probably about a month and a half for me to get my books, if not a little bit longer. So I was afraid that was going to happen again here, but no, they sent me a tracking number. I'm supposed to be getting the Volume 1 books on Monday. because I was really, really worried that if I didn't have my books in time to ship before the launch for issue 5, I was going to have to push it back.
Right.
You know, and the thing is though, because I had, you know, I already like kind of like committed to a date, I was afraid as to what kind of domino effect that was going to have. Because it's like, you know, our shows book up really quickly. And it's like, if I had to move it up a week, I'm not going to be rude and push somebody else off our show so I can do a launch stream. You know, I mean, that's really rude, you know? So, you know, so I was putting myself in a position where I wouldn't be able to do a launch stream on our own show. So, but luckily that's not what's happening. But the thing is though, you know, because we'll get it on Monday. Like I said, I have everything ready to pack. And then, you know, and then it's like everything is going to get, you know, shipped out as quickly as I can get them out. So that by the time the issue 5 launches, I have a clear conscience. I'm not going to be that person, you know. It's like, hey, you didn't, you know, fulfill your last campaign. Why are you launching a new one? And it's like, no, I am not being that person. But the thing is, though, the situation made me think about my scheduling for next year and what I learned. You know, so issue 5, Eagle Raven issue 5 is going to be the last campaign for this year. And it really made me think about how I'm going to go about next year. You know, it's like I really learned a lot about scheduling and, you know, things that I liked and things that I didn't like. And like this year, I was very strict in trying to keep all my Kickstarters, you know, on, like if I said it's going to launch on a date, it's going to launch on that date. And so, you know, and so far it's been like that. If I said it's going to launch on this date, that's exactly the date that it launches. You know, it's like, you know, but then there's the whole thing about, oh, I had wanted to have up to issue 8 finished this year. That's kind of not happening. I mean, especially, you know, a novel decided to pop out from the ether. So that kind of threw off my schedule. However, I'm still ahead as to, you know, as to technically like having a book ready for next year, having books ready for next year. But it's not the schedule that I had wanted to keep. And then I was really thinking, especially with the threat of this delay, I was really thinking that for next year, I think what I'm going to try is I am not going to have an exact date for a campaign until I really do have everything in order. Like, so in January, I'm planning on doing Tall Tales to Peacekeepers trade. Right. So then the idea is for another Eagle Raven campaign to come after that. But because of everything that I'm kind of like experiencing, you know, where I would be setting exact dates, I'm kind of thinking, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to set a date, but I'm going to set a pre-launch. You know, I'm going to have the pre-launch live, but I'm not going to set a date until I know that the previous campaign is taken care of. You know, so you know, like if once the campaign is pretty much like shipped out, let's see. So there was 1 year, I think, between me and JD, because I literally help him out with those campaigns. I think we did like 12 campaigns. I do not recommend that. Right now, for this year, I think I ran 5 campaigns, which was still kind of tight. Yeah, I think it's like this issue 5 that I'm running, I literally squeezed in at the last minute because I wanted to see if I could.
Because you had to stop and write a novel in the middle of it too.
I know, really. It's like, you know, it's like, you know, 5, I think, is really pushing it for a single person because, like I said, it's, you know, having to handle those, it's like, it's not really the campaigns itself that's an issue. It's the in between when you're waiting for everything to come back from suppliers, and depending on who you order from, because especially books, a lot of like I said, I like my last volume 1 campaign with this particular vendor. They delayed it 3 times, and the thing is, though, there's nothing you can do about it. There is, depending on who you talk to, the paper shortage is still happening, although by now I think it's more of an excuse than anything. But that's neither here nor there.
Well, I know somebody who legitimately had problems.
Right.
Like, I know him
yeah.
personally enough to know that they weren't making up shit.
Right. Yeah. So that was something that I wasn't really considering on that other campaign. I mean, we still got the books out, but it did overlap with another. Yeah, I know, right? I'm trying to pull it back a bit because the thing, like I said, it's the in between. It's waiting for everything to come in. And then it's like, how quickly can you get the Kickstarters out? Like, I'm really hoping that once I get my books out, once I get my books on Monday, I can have everything out by the 30th.
And then there's the wear and tear on you.
Right, exactly.
Like, seriously, man, I watched you have a full-blown anxiety attack.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And mind you, in the middle of all that, I'm still working on books. I'm still inking. I still have, I still have sketch covers. I still have to color that I owe from JD's campaign 2 campaigns ago. It's like, it's like, so I still have all this other stuff. It's not just, it's just the campaign is over. And now it's like, there's no coasting. That's the thing. So, yeah, so this last one, especially this one, because I think this is the closest that I've had 2 campaigns together. And, and it's like, oh, this is really anxiety inducing, because now I'm wondering if this last campaign is going to be too close to the January campaign. So now I have this kind of like domino effect that I'm trying to like, okay, I don't want to, blow my head off my shoulders, over this. So
no, I need you.
Yeah, I know, really.
Don't leave me.
Yeah, I know. So it's like, and the thing is, and then it's like, that's not counting all the other projects in my head that are trying to creep out, and it's like, no, back, get back in there until I'm ready for you. So yeah, so that's the thing with campaigns. It's kind of like, so for next year, that's what I'm thinking of doing, kind of like taking a little bit more chill. Not as chill as JD though.
No, don't ever do that. I'll slap you.
He's so chill, his shit's random. That's not good. I still need some kind of structure.
Spontaneous.
Yeah, he's very
very spontaneous.
So that does not work for me at all. So I'm trying to find this middle ground between kind of like the hyper structure I was trying to put together before and his complete chaos. that JD likes to do for Oswald. So yeah, I'm trying to find a middle ground with that. And the only thing that I could really think of is do the campaign, when the campaign is done, wait a week, launch the pre-launch for the next campaign, but don't have a date for that. Fulfill the campaign that's open. And then once that last package goes out, then decide on a date and then launch the next, and then announce a date so that there's enough time to kind of like still plan for things, like shows and schedules and stuff if that's necessary.
Right.
And then launch the campaign and then kind of like take a slower approach to doing that, because I mean, it was just like, it was really like, like you said, I mean, no shit. I legit had a panic attack about this around March, I think. It's like,
yeah, but to see your humanity was adorable.
Right? Yeah, it's like, hey,
oh, good. Daphne freaks out too.
Oh, it's so lonely at the top of Olympus. so it's kind of like, so yeah, so it was just kind of like, I mean, granted, everything kind of calmed down a bit once I finished the novel.
Don't
Yes,
you have a
definitely.
date?
Yeah, huh?
I was talking to her. Don't you
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
date?
Well, she's waiting. She's very prompt. You probably told her exactly 11:30, and that's exactly when she's going to show up.
Well,
so.
that's fine too.
Yes, I have. Do you ever think so far ahead of your projects that you ultimately find that your ideas for a project became passé or unworkable for whatever reason? Yeah, it's like it's just so it's it's all just like, not that I have yet to abandon a project. I just put it aside.
Right.
So it's like, okay, like my schedule does not allow for this right now. It's kind of like I have something percolating right now that just popped out, Athena from the forehead of Zeus. And I just have to go, you have to wait. It's like, I have to put this to the side, because it's like, I just have too much going on now. So
it's wild.
It is. I mean, it's like, I think and the thing is, though, and I think that especially now, because of the way this last campaign performed, I think that set my anxiety level up to like 1,000. It cranked it all the way up to 11, because like I said, the last campaign, I was only expecting to make 3 for what it is. It ended up making 8.4. And I was like, the next campaign, can I
want to trade?
Can I match that? And now it's like, I'm all kind of
we're gonna
ovulated,
especially breaking out some medieval Viking.
No. That was me.
I know. But people need to understand that we just fuck off sometimes.
Right. Yeah, okay. Exactly. Sometimes it's like, I just got to get stuff out of my brain, and and that's sometimes, and Facebook gets the brunt of it. So today is a special Friday. It's we have a rare Friday interview today, and I am very excited for our next guest that's coming up. And speaking about doing the business, this I've been watching her for a little bit on Twitch.
This is another ball busting woman.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's I mean, it was just like, what, we had to talk to her, so we have her on today.
Have you been stalking her too?
Just a little, just a little. So we're going to show some love, and then we're going to bring on our guest. So,
all right,
then
let's throw some of these.
We'll be right back.
Let's see what we got. Okay.
Right.
Oh, I got this.
I used to think if I couldn't find hope, I should just let it all go. I used to think if I couldn't make dreams come true, I should just let them all go. When life seems impossible, look from a new angle, change just one little thing. When life feels intolerable, find your true source of love. Focus now, focus on love.
It's Monty Moore. I'm a 30-year comics veteran in comics, games, and movies, and you've been watching one of my absolute favorite podcasts, Catch the Craze.
You are watching Catch the Craze.
What am I listening to?
And you're listening to Catch the Craze.
Where are all the indies at?
A Catch the Craze podcast. What are you watching?
I'm watching Catch the Craze.
What are you going to do?
Subscribe now to Catch the Craze, the #1 show online for independent.
Have you subscribed to?
You are an independent. Catch the Craze! Making moves on your own. Catch the Craze! On your grind in the streets. Catch the Craze! Join the movement. Catch the Craze!
I am not jealous every time I hear you call somebody else #1.
Well, look, Catch the Craze is independent. They're #1 for independent everything, not just independent comics. So,
All right.
it's
all right.
they're very,
on top, baby. On top.
So, welcome, Vesenia. I'm
Hello.
hoping that's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
You
welcome.
got it.
Welcome to our show. A reason for everybody to be in our chat, because I think our chat was where we first saw you pop up, and we followed your links, and we're like, going, holy crap, we got to talk to her.
I love her. Let's stalk her.
Yeah, so why don't you introduce yourself to the peoples?
Hello guys. I'm Vesenia Lindsey, known as Vesenia Designs, but you can call me Ves. I do a lot of content creation, so you'll see me on Twitch or YouTube creating my pieces. But I'm also a comic creator. That was what I has always been. And I make a comic called Celestial Pulse. And right now we're working I'm working on Pulsetober, which is another fun little thing that brings my community together so that we can draw my community mascot into different things. And Pulsey's also in the Celestial Pulse world, so you will always get to know Pulsey in the community and also in my books.
Right. So which came first, Pulsey or the comic?
The comic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the comic. So when I first started, I was doing my comic alone, and I wanted to hang out with people because my husband, he's a plumber, so he used to go out to work and he won't come back home for like hours. And like sometimes he'll come back home, he'll sit down, eat, then leave again. So I didn't like to be alone because I'm the oldest of, five. So I had a big family, and I was like, I don't know what to do. So my husband was like, maybe you should try like doing videos and stuff. Maybe you can like interact with people that way. And while I was working on my comic, I started doing that and streaming and getting to know the people, getting to know other artists and other people that was making their own comics. And as that time kind of like flourishing, I started calling people my pulses, because in my book, pulse means power. So I tell everybody, like, you guys are my pulses. You're the energy that keeps me streaming. Yeah. So definitely, after some time, went ahead and my community wanted a mascot, and that's when we made our little burning flame together.
But that really is cute though, because what I really love is our creators who are just like so dedicated to their OCs. But even in this case though, it's like you have your OC, but that's the original character for everybody. But the thing is though, you're incorporating them. Like right now you're doing Pulsetober, which is a sketchbook featuring Pulsey as Marvel and DC characters.
Yeah.
But because you're using Pulsey, it's kind of like beyond fan art. It's kind of like, oh, Pulsey's doing cosplay.
Yeah, right? I think it's adorable.
Yeah. And the thing is though, it's like you said, and you have your comic, right? But you do like a whole bunch of other things too. Like I think on one video you were doing VTubing animation. Which I think is insane, but you have a whole graphic design thing that you do, right?
Yeah.
So how did you get into that?
I actually went to school for college for graphic design, and it was, at first I wanted to do like animation and like get into the field of just creating comic like stuff. And I remember when I went to school, they were like, well, we don't really have something for that because, I lived in New York. And they were like, we have graphic design that's kind of similar. So being first generation college graduate, my mom, she was like, no, you need to finish school. You need to do this. You need to get this done. And I'm like, but graphic design. So I went and I liked it. I liked the fact that I was able to design, create things, manipulate photos to make it even, pleasant to other people, work with clients. And when I ended up moving to Ohio, I didn't get that. So I had to build my own business here. So I became a freelancer, and that's why I like when you see my stuff is more like graphic wise. Yeah. It has a little bit more oomph to it, and that's I have the tools that I went to school to learn how to do these type of things.
Now, and of course, as a New Yorker, I have to ask, why Ohio?
Well, okay, so my husband, he's originally from Ohio.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I had a lot of issues with my mom. She ended up, she didn't like the fact that I was wanting to get married and grow up and stuff. So she ended up kicking me out. And my husband, being that he lived in a small town, in like a small city in Ohio, I was like, you know what, screw that. I'm going to just do it, move and get away from just all that toxicity, all that drama. And that's how all this was formed.
Oh, there you go. So you were able to blossom pretty much in your own space. Yeah. And the things and you know, we were talking about, you know, doing the business before. There are some times where does your husband help you with with your graphic design and everything? Because I know that he was helping you with the stream the other day.
Yeah, my husband is editor chief.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he handles a lot of the big stuff that like I wouldn't have too much time because I'm busy doing art stuff. So like if I need help with trying to get conventions or talk to enough people to network and stuff, he actually is like my second in command for that. And like if stream is going crazy, he'll come in and he'll read chat. And you know, if he's not working on plumbing, he's like, I got you, Bess. Don't worry about it.
Really like, that's really nice. Yeah.
So he actually was the one that found my comic because when I was younger, I started this comic when I was 14. So I used to doodle all the time just to get away from like the whole abuse and stuff that I was dealing with. And I was just like more focused on making a reality in my own head, like a own fantasy. And it was never supposed to be shown to the public at all. But when he found it, he was like, Bess, this is pretty cool. Like, you should do something with this. So it was me, him, and his sister Maggie, which is my sister. And we were just sitting down and we came up with the name. We fleshed out the story. We came up with the timeline. And I was like, oh, man, I'm really doing this. He's like, yeah, you're really doing this. So I quit it. I quit my job in Party Place because it was like seasonal. Right. And I just was like full focus on it. And like, he's just been the support that I need to continue it and make sure that it's like, it sits in the business side of it too, rather than just me doing art and falling behind on like, you know, keeping together with other people that are just like me.
Right. That's like, this is not a hobby. It's like, you're all in.
Yeah.
And so with this comic Celestial Pulse, which is I think, let me bring up your site here. So just to give everybody an idea as to what your comic is.
Do you want me to put you up?
Yeah, there we go. So this is so it's a beautiful manga inspired book. I mean, I was just like, it's like, look, I mean,
yeah, I was blown away.
I was like, and wow. Here's the thing, and it's like 9 issues. 9 issues. I mean, it's like, look, I've been in this business for 30 something years. We have seen way more people than not even make it past their first issue, and we have 9. So, I think it's safe to say you're serious about this, right?
Yeah, definitely am. I'm working on the 10th and the 11th one sketches now.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So why don't you tell us really quickly what Celestial Pulse is about?
So Celestial Pulse is a modern fantasy with mythical powers, and you have the main character who her name is Fuji de Leon. She is trying to master and hone her powers, figure out her past so that she could stop a war and find out who's behind it all. So you are basically dropped into her world. You're trying to learn and grow with her. And in the midst of everything, you find the conflicts that she has, and you're trying to figure out, as much as she is, what the hell is going on. And this is getting messy. What are we going to do about it? So that's the gist of it all. So if you're like into stories like Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho, it falls in that type of realm. And, you know, I try my best to make it super creative in the technology. So like she'll carry a cell phone, but it can do other things because of her magic.
Oh, kind of like card captors, where it's like,
Yeah.
So are those? So is your? So are you? Yeah, it really is. It really is. So it's like, so is manga your base, or is like those were the books that really got you into comics, or were there others, like, or is it like mishmash, because you are doing Marvel and DC, Pulse sketches? So
so I've always been in the art realm ever since I was young. And I think I got introduced to comics when I was 7 years old from my grandfather, because he had actually a stack of old comics, like the old Iron Man and the old Batman and Superman, like all those old, really, like, you know, Cool World?
Yeah.
Cool World was actually a comic before it was actually a movie.
Oh,
So
I thought it was the Ralph Bakshi movie with Brad Pitt. Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so he had all those booklets, and I used to read them, and I used to draw them. And then there was this Spanish comic book called Conderito, and it was not for children, but
we always find that, like, I remember the one, my grandfather's comics.
Yeah.
I got here, like
Yes.
the Tijuana Bibles. Like,
Right, yeah.
Right.
When you're going through boxes, you're not supposed to.
Yeah. So I was into it, but not heavy, until I went to junior high school, and one of my friends introduced me to manga and anime, and that's when I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is a whole different ballgame. Like, I want to try this. I love the way they make the characters look. I love the way that they make powers look. It was just like really out there that I didn't see in what we had in Marvel and DC. Right. So I can say I was more inspired with that when I got into, reading mangas.
Right. So I just have to ask, though, why is it that where is it? I know it's here somewhere. Yeah, why is it that two hot guys protecting a magical girl is like the best trope ever?
Well, the thing about it is, you got one. So hear me out. You got one hot guy, which is the one with the reddish looking hair that protects. But then you got the one with the silver hair that wants to attack.
Right. And like I'm saying, why is this the best trope?
I have no clue, but I always thought it was kind of cool that a woman didn't have to fight a woman. She could fight a man too. Yeah. So the fact that this man with the silver hair is very powerful, and he comes to her and tries to, unalive her. She's like, wait a minute, no, we're not playing that game here. Right. And, at first she looks dainty. She looks like she needs the guy with the goldish looking hair. But in all actuality, while you're in the story, she's going to develop more where she don't need him. He's a non-factor, and she comes into her own. So it's like almost team girl when it comes to that. But, you got hot men in the mix.
Yeah, exactly.
That's about it.
Yeah,
I want people to love my characters. I don't want them to, like, just because he's a villain, not be loved,
Yeah, no, exactly. And, looking hot helps too.
Right?
So how many issues is Celestial Pulse going to be? I mean, do you have an idea? Like, are you making this? Okay, are you a plotter or a pantser? So do you have like everything all nice and tidy hitting an end, or are you literally making this up as you go along?
I have everything tightly knitted, but my pacing tends to change depending on how the mood of the story is feeling. So, like, if I'm in a sector where it speaks a little bit more into the truth and you're getting a lore dump, I would tend to slow it down. So you'll get more issues that you have to read into so that you can get to that before, the whole fun stuff that can be a couple of pages, So like, everybody asks me this question and I can't come up with an answer. I was like, maybe 60 books. But
wow. Okay.
It's like I don't know because we're like 25% into it already, and it's book 10.
Right.
So it's like I have to figure out the pacing and everything, and it's like whenever it happens, guys, you're gonna just be with me on the ride.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's like just buckle up and just enjoy the scenery.
Exactly.
And you've been doing Kickstarters for these books as well, right?
Yeah.
Now the thing is though, at 9 issues, I would have expected a trade paperback already. I mean,
where's that at?
Yeah.
Everybody has been asking me about that, and like Victor Dandruff, he's like my mentor. Like I love that man. He actually started me in conventions and stuff like that. So he actually was like, Vess, it's time. It's time. You got 2 right now. You got 2 trade backs.
You really do.
Yeah, you really do.
So I was like, oh crap. I'm gonna have to figure it out. And the thing about me is I care about my supporters more than anything when it comes down to Kickstarters and stuff. So like, sure, I have these books that can go into a trade, but I wanted to be a little bit more special so that when they do get it, it's like, this is not the same old. It's something more than just the trade,
Right.
So I'm still trying to come up with a plan before I can be like, let's do a Kickstarter. Let's have all these books set up in a certain type of way. And, we go from there.
Right. Okay, well, that just means that I have to go back into my pledge on your campaign and pick up the individual issues in the meantime.
Well, because I have it there as a bundle. So if you have any issues or anything, just let me know. And I'll
okay. Because I remember asking you, I was like, is there a trade? And you had said that the next Kickstarter, but obviously it depends on when the next Kickstarter comes out. So yeah. So speaking of Kickstarter, why don't we bring up, so this is Pulsetober.
Yes.
And this is your character Pulsey, which appears in Celestial Pulse.
Yes.
But this is a special sketchbook that you're doing. So you want to talk about that?
Okay, so Pulsey was actually born October 13th.
Oh, it was a birthday
2014. So yesterday his birthday was 5 years old. And yeah, it's mostly community based. So Pulsey is our community base. He brings me together with my community. We're like one. And I didn't like the Inktober prompts that I was getting with like the Jake Parker one. It was just too vague. I just didn't like it. And I remember my community complaining about it too, because they like to do the challenge also. So I'm like, you know what? How about we take Pulsey and just do something crazy? And they were like, what are we gonna do? Because that sounds cool. So at first with this book, because this is the first book that I got, we ended up turning him into like ghouls and have him like racing cars, and it was real cutesy. But then the next year after that, which was 2020, we ended up started doing a little bit more detail with like aliens and zombie and incubus and all of that. And it was just Pulsey just turning into these different things. And then it turned into, we should do comic base. And at first it wasn't supposed to come out to be a book. And this is always the story. But a lot of the community was like, I really like your art pieces, Vess. You need to turn it into a book. Can you do that? And at that point, I was like, no, guys, we're not doing that. And they're like, come on, we're going to do it. I said, okay, you're going to have to put your money where your mouth is now.
Yeah, that's the trick, right?
I made the Kickstarter that week and it hit the goal right then and there like that instantly. And I was like, okay, I guess this is going to have to be a thing. So now everybody's like, we need to do this theme and we need to do that theme. And you need to make a book for that. And you need to make new stickers for that. And it's just been a fun time, and turning Pulsey very detailed, even though Pulsey is very not detailed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
What makes it fun.
Yeah. And also what you do too is that people who pledge during your streams, because I ended up, I didn't even know that's what I did. It's like, I guess I ended up, because you run 5-hour streams.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, but I guess it's like, yeah, if you're working anyway, right? That it's like you figure you might as well be online while you're doing it, right?
Right.
Yeah, and what I had, and because of I pledged during a stream, I got to get like Pulsey, I guess, like cosplay as my OC Eagle Raven, in the thank you page.
Yes.
So I thought that was really funny too. That was just like, wow, it's like you really are like, this really is a community book. Like
Yeah.
everybody has a thumbprint in this book.
Yeah.
So have you found, because you've done Kickstarters for both comics and for sketchbooks, have you found like there's a difference in the two?
Yeah, and I think that's because the art book is one shot, right? And the comic is more commitment. So with the one shots, people tend to want to jump on it quicker because they're like, okay, I can get one book, but if I don't get the other book, that's okay. I can get it later because it's not a story. I don't have to keep up with it. But with Celestial Pulse, people have to keep on top of me with it. They're like, Bess, when the next book is coming out? When's the next Kickstarter? Because I need to know when this Kickstarter is coming out so I can get this next book. And like if they see me sketching, I have to make sure I keep my sketches very vague, especially online, or like not even put in the word bubbles because they get really excited and start thinking of theories. And it
I have a couple of people that does that to my work as well, and I think that's a lot of fun. Where it's like when people start coming up with their own, like, oh, this is gonna happen, right? And you go, no, or it's like, or go, yeah, you guessed it. It's like it's just. Yeah, it is a lot of fun, but you don't want to spoil anything either.
Oh no, not at all. And then the thing is, it's really fun because you remember the pictures that you showed with the two guys and the girl?
Yeah,
those actually are fan developed. Like they wanted to see this character with the other character, even though it's not canon. They just want it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just give it to you guys because this is something that you guys keep supporting me with. So I'm just gonna continue to cater to you guys, so you can feel like you're a part of something. Like, it's just I like to try to keep it as like it's my own story, but I like to have the community involved because then it feels like I'm doing something that you guys enjoy.
That's that's really cool because it's like I said, it's like, I caught your Twitch stream. Now the thing is that you have, so you use both Twitch and YouTube. So I guess like this, I guess in a similar vein of this, it's like, so what made you go to Twitch instead of YouTube in terms of the streaming?
So what happened was I was on YouTube for a couple of years, and YouTube ended up, I would say, blacklisting me because I was I would run long streams and I would do Kickstarters like this and draw, my supporters. I would draw their characters, and then there was just one supporter that had a character that was dressed up like he looked like he was in a Spider-Man suit. But like it was a skin tight suit with like legs and everything. And mind you, I crossed his leg over because he was in a running position. So nothing was showing but his muscles. And YouTube went ahead and took down my video for sexual content.
Oh no.
And then after that sexual content got hit, I got a strike. And then I went ahead and tried to fight it, and they ended up giving me another strike. And then they finally let me go. And after letting me go, during that time, I couldn't stream. I couldn't do anything. So I was like on YouTube with like 10-minute videos because they wouldn't even let me do longer videos to let my community know, look, this is what happened to me and I don't have nothing else to do. So my friend, she was on Twitch and she was like, look, Vess, come to Twitch because Twitch is very open. You could actually listen to music you like. You don't have to worry about the YouTube bullcrap. So I ended up going over there and my community ended up loving it because now you can get emotes and you can donate. You can do so much more. It's more user friendly than YouTube. So I ended up over there and I just post like clips and stuff of like what I do or like if I run like a mini tutorial, because I usually do that on my channel, just post it on YouTube raw, the way that it is,
Right.
just so that the YouTube community knows I still care about you guys. I still see you guys, and thank you for the continued support.
Wow, that's grimy.
Yeah, it is. And see, that's why we have the backup channel.
Yeah,
we did make a plan B, because some days it feels like we're just waiting for the executioner to show up.
Right, because like I had a Patreon pulled down for something similar, you know, and it's just like and it makes you skittish to use certain platforms because of that, you know. So
and we'd be straight up porning.
Right, you know,
right.
You know, I mean, but it's like it's wow. It you know, you think you're kind of doing everything the right way, and someone's just, and then the problem is that once you're on that radar, it's like you never get off of it.
You never get off, because right now my shorts that I've been making with me during Pulsetober, some of those been blacklisted where they're not even getting views whatsoever. So I know that YouTube right now has my account in some type of way, and it always stemmed from what happened that day with that character being drawn.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
so-
Oh, there we go. So how do you get around the no nudity on Twitch? I got a 3-day ban on Twitch for a show I hosted where the creator had more adult work and it was flagged. I mean, are they strict about that?
They now got strict with that. You
Right.
can't show nipples. You can't show like if your character's wearing a bikini, you can't show like her bottom part as much. She has to wear modest looking things.
Wow.
And it's just because a lot of people take it overboard. Twitch has plenty of things where people, you know, had sex on screen. They have their VTubers with their nipples out or like wearing a sheer outfit. So they had to crack down really hard on things like that. So if you're gonna show those type of things, I would say put like a bar over it or like a little happy face or something just to cover it.
Is there an option to age secure your content? Like if you want it to
okay. You can age keep it down to a certain type of age by putting maturity to it.
Right.
But still be leery about it because there's children that fake their age and still get on.
No, for sure. But the disclaimer protects you.
Yeah, definitely disclaim your stuff. Like, look, this is what we're doing. Because my friend, she draws characters and they wear like little bikinis and stuff like that. But like sometimes you'll see her put like when she's sketching, like, even when she's sketching, you know, you have to draw the character naked. She'll put little duckies and stuff in areas.
Oh my
her
goodness,
screen so that she can finish it and then, you know.
Well, see, one thing we've learned with streaming House of Bob is that if we age restrict the program, YouTube is more laxed on the content, and I mean we're doing full on nudity.
Okay.
Would age restriction over there? Like if we decided to link up our channel to Twitch and stream simultaneous or simulcast through both, would Twitch have a problem with that if the content were age restricted?
I am really not too sure because mine is not age restricted. Like we get risky with stuff, and I've got away with risky. Like, you know, let's say she's wearing a shirt with no bra and like her little nippies is just chilling.
We go full on Hope Union stuff.
Right. You know, that right there, I never had an issue with, but I've always seen issue when you're showing like nipple.
Right.
And,
like
you know,
artistic nudity is
still a no-go.
Right. Yeah. So with Twitch, because you have a decent sized following on Twitch, and you know, and it's like, and how do you think that converts to your Kickstarters? Like, do you have? I mean, it's like obviously your last Kickstarter, because it was the Twitch community that recommended that you do this book, that they jumped all over it. And it's like, you see that you get most of your people from your Twitch community to support your campaigns.
Yeah. When I was on DeviantArt and YouTube and stuff, it was really hard because I guess with Twitch is nice because you can raid somebody and go to their stream, and you'll be talking to a new set of people every time it's raid, or sometimes you'll be talking to the similar people, but they never seen you do too much. Like they followed you, but they didn't see you do too much. But now that they see that you did something, like, oh, I want to jump on that. So the hosting really helps with getting new eyes periodically seeing your stuff. And like with YouTube, I always have to, it felt like I had to make an ad every 5 minutes so that people can, oh yeah, let me see what Vess is working on. Versus with Twitch, all I could be like is, they'd be like, oh, Vess, what are you working on today? Oh, I'm working on Pulsetober. Look at this sketch. Do you like it? Yeah, I like it. You could have this in your home with the easy payment of going to Kickstarter and pledging, you know? And then they're like, oh, okay, that sounds kind of cool. And then some people don't know what it is. So I'll run a whole tutorial. Yeah, this is an all or nothing type of thing. But, you know, we hit our goal, but we have another goal. So if you want that type of free stuff, just go ahead and pledge, you know? And
so you feel that, so I guess what it seems like that Twitch really gives you more of a more freedom to promote yourself.
Yeah.
And like, even if YouTube wasn't being so dickish about what they were doing, you still felt like you couldn't get the same reaction from the audience.
Right. And then like with YouTube, if you put tags like YouTube, or you put tags like Kickstarter or campaign, they tend to not show your stuff at all because it's a third platform that people got to go to, and they don't like
Same
that.
thing with Facebook. That's what we've learned. Like in marketing with paid promotions, I've learned that I need to drop those tags.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I don't use those tags whatsoever on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, because they will blacklist you.
No crowdfunding, no campaign, no Kickstarter, no Indiegogo. Those are a bunch of no words.
No goes.
Wow.
Absolutely no goes. So I've been very cautious on like what to do. And the only thing with Twitch I can say is it's more I'm talking and they can't filter what I'm saying.
Right.
So it's right there, live time. This is what it is. If you guys want to help support, awesome. If you want to share it, you can. And then when they do click links, it makes another page. So it's not like you're leaving where you're at to go to another area.
Right. And also, I guess that the way that the streams are set up on Twitch too, it's kind of like, you know, nobody wants to leave because they might miss something. Right. Because I know that there's always something going on your screen. You have the chat, you have, you know, these little animations that keep popping up, and you know.
I even left and kept her in my headset while I'm in the kitchen trying to cook dinner, and I'm like praying. It's like, please let the Bluetooth reach. Please.
I have this thing now. I just started it. It's a robot that reads chat.
Oh, yeah.
So now people tend to stay in chat longer because they can hear what's going on in chat, so they can just jump in. They don't have to. They don't have to worry about looking at my screen or looking at the chat every 5 minutes. They can actually lurk and work and not have to what the hell? They laugh, they crack up because the robot is hilarious. It gives personalities to the weirdest.
We don't play robots, Daphne.
Yeah, no, I know. It's like I had the other day on one of the streams, I had a robot, one of the AIs in Adobe Acrobat, read out a page from my novel, and it was just the most ridiculous thing everyone's ever heard.
It is hilarious.
Yeah. So there you have it. You know, it's like, so we're at just the top of the hour. I just want to thank everybody for joining us in the chat, you know, and joining us for this hour of conversation. So here you go, everybody. So here's another option for you if you're looking to, I don't know, like get into streaming and whatnot. You know, maybe if you can't, you know, if YouTube's not working out for you, maybe Twitch is an option. You know, I mean, it certainly looks a lot more versatile. You know,
Get yourself StreamYard and do them all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Do it all. If you don't become an affiliate, I honestly recommend not becoming an affiliate and simultaneously streaming throughout YouTube, Twitch, Instagram,
everybody,
TikTok, everything.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, because why leave anybody out if you don't have to?
Yeah, so, I made the mistake of being an affiliate and I'm stuck. So they gave us the option of doing Instagram now, and I use Instagram.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So Pulsetober on Kickstarter right now. It is funded, but there's a lot of other things to get. There's other stretch goals and whatnot to get in the campaign. So links to everything will be in the show notes below. So aside from Kickstarter, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you? Where else?
Well, I'm Google friendly, so Vesenia Designs, as you can see right here. All you got to do is type it in, and I'm like the first thing you see because I'm the only person in the world with this name.
Nice. First page, baby.
Yeah, first page. I'm mostly on Twitch from at 12 o'clock to whenever until like I get tired. So it'll be 5 hours of me just streaming. So you'll find me there, or you'll find me posting stuff up on TikTok and stuff like that.
Right. Oh, so there you go. So Nita, any final thoughts?
I have no final thoughts today. My brain is dead.
Right. It is Friday after all.
I have lots of thoughts, but they're for after the show.
Right. So it's like, yeah, and also it's like, so technically after you're done with us, you actually going to start your live stream soon, right? On Twitch. Oh, so there you go. Doing the business. So, like I said, thank you everybody for watching us, for spending this hour with us. Yes, I do see you, 7 people who are watching us from regions beyond. Like I said, if you're watching us from Facebook, if you're watching us from Twitter, come on over to YouTube. You know, it's a lot more fun over here. You know, it's like that's how we met her. So.
Yep, come on over.
You know, so yeah. So if you want to see more, of my artwork and learn more about my books and my upcoming campaigns, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites. But I mostly post on Facebook. If you are into seeing sketches and current work in progress and whatever nonsense I'm up to, and remember, you can find me on YouTube as well at my own channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit all the things to make the algorithms gods happy, so that they see, so that these videos go out into the wherever they go, so more people can see them. So what?
I did something professional.
Oh, what did you do?
I interrupted my co-host. No, look. We now have a link tree for Indie Comics Network. Linktree Indie Comics Network. It has all the contact information across the board for every platform that we're on, and each individual host contact information in their link tree is also inside of it. So anything you want contact for anybody on the entire network can be found Linktree / Indie Comics Network.
There you go. You can't get any easier than that. But that's what I was, talking about, how we're consolidating everything and making it all easy for you to find your next favorite indie comic. So there we have it. The end of a Friday. Thank you everybody for showing up. We'll see you again on Monday at 11 a.m. And from the words of the ancients, the great words of the ancients, remember to eat your food, to moisturize, to mind your business, and to do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake your accomplishments. And thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time.